Hey Hardy, Miss Grillo here. I hope you all are doing well, and welcome back to Math with Miss Grillo. So last week we were talking about multiplication, so multiplying two-digit by two-digit numbers. We went over 3 different methods that you could use. The first being multiplying with the area model, the second being multiplying with partial products, and the third being multiplying using standard algorithm. Well, we all know that the opposite of multiplication is division. So today we are going to be learning to divide, and we're going to be looking at a couple of different methods as well. So I made cookies on Friday, like you all saw, and I still have these Chips Ahoy cookies. They are wonderfully delicious, but I have a whole big pile of cookies since we doubled our recipe of homemade chocolate chip cookies, which are much better. So I want to go ahead and get rid of what I have in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 chocolate chip cookies in here. So I am deciding I want to divide these 12 cookies up between my fiance Chris and myself. So this is where we have our first division problem. So I have 12 of these wonderfully delicious cookies here, but I need to divide these 12 among 2 people. So take a second. What would our division equation look like? 12 cookies divided among 2 people. You got it? Well, if you said 12 divided by 2, you would be correct. So we have 12 total cookies, and we're dividing them into 2 groups, right? Because there are 2 of us. There's me, and then there's Chris. So the first thing I want to show you is how we can draw a picture to solve 12 divided by 2. So let's look at our equation and try to figure out what is our big number, or how many total cookies do we start with? Very good. 12 total cookies. So if I am going to draw a picture to represent this, I am going to need 12 cookies. And how many groups are we dividing them into? 2. Very good, because there's me. So we'll do Miss Grillo, we'll do Chris, and then we'll do Miss Grillo. All right, so I have my 2 groups. And now what I get to go ahead and do is count out 12. But what kind of groups are we wanting to make? Equal groups. Very good. So I need to be putting 1 in each group until I get to 12. Very good. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, did we count out 12? Yeah, we did. Are our groups equal? Do we have one lined up with the other? Yep, so that means there are no remainders. So we have 12 here, but the next question is, how are we going to figure out what the answer is? Well, we have 12 total, and they're divided into 2 groups. So we have to figure out how many cookies are in each group. So going to have to count my cookies in one group. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many cookies are in each group? 6. Very nice. So 12 divided by 2 is going to equal 6. All right, so this is drawing a picture strategy. It can be very helpful for you to get a good idea of how to divide. But here comes the real question. What if instead of 12 cookies, I had 644 cookies, and I wanted to divide them between 4 people? So, Chris, myself, my mom, and my dad. Okay? That's a lot more cookies. Could you go ahead and sit here and draw 644 dots into 4 groups? You could. Do you think it would be beneficial? Do you think it'd be quick, or do you think it'd take a long time? Yeah, it would take a long time. So, the second strategy I am going to show you today is partial quotients. Now, if you remember, in multiplication last week, we were looking at partial products, which is the multiplication version of this. But today, we are going to be looking at partial quotients. Partial quotients. All right, so when you are doing partial quotients, you take your whole number, so in this case, the amount of cookies I have, so 644, and you put it under the house, okay? So we have 644, and we put it under our house. All right, but with partial products, we actually make a long line. So you don't just stop right there. Your house has a basement, if you would like to call it. Okay? And then what are we going to be dividing by? Very good. I heard it. We are dividing by 4. All right, and that 4 goes right on your outside. All right, so it should look like 4 divided by 644. Now, when we are doing this, we are asking ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 644? Okay, so we have our multiplication symbol up here because 4 times something gives us 644. Well, when I think about 644, I get nervous. That is such a big number and something I don't want to work with. So, a strategy you can use is you can cover up your last digits, so you're just left with your first digit, okay? And now the question we would ask ourselves is, how many times does 4 go into 6? Is that easier to work with? Yeah, so 4 times what is going to give us 6? 4 times 1, very good, because 4 times 1 equals what? 4. So I'm going to take that 4 and I'm going to put it right below the 6. All right, so we are part of the way there, but we were just working with what place? The hundreds place. Very good. So can we have the 10s and the 1 spots sit with nothing in it? No, we cannot. So we covered up our tens and ones when we are asking ourselves how many times does 4 go into 6, okay? So we covered up 2 place values. So what are we going to have to add to this? How many place values? 2. Very good. So instead of 4 times 1 gives us 4, 4 times 100, or the 2 zeros we added because we were covering up the tens and the ones place. So 4 times 100 equals 400. Okay? With me so far? If not, please do not be afraid to make a comment below this video. And I will do my best to either create another video to help you out, link a video that may help, or create a new video kind of explaining a little bit more. But here's where we're at right now. 4 times 100 gives us 400. Okay? And if you type that into a calculator, we know that 4 times 100 equals 400. And we were able to do that by a little trick, covering up place values and adding zeros. All right, so next we have 644 and 400. These two we need to subtract. So don't forget your subtraction sign. And now we're going to subtract. 4 ones minus 0 ones gives us 4 ones. And remember, whenever we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, we are always starting in that lowest place value, or that ones place. All right, we'll move on to the second one. This is our tens. So 4 tens minus 0 tens gives us 4 tens. All right, and then 600s minus 400s gives us 200s. Very nice. So now what question are we asking ourselves? How many times does 4 go into 244? Wow. 244 is still a big number. So I'm going to use my strategy again, cover up my lowest place values, and now I'm asking myself, how many times does 4 go into 2? Well, let's think. If I have 2, can I put 4 in there? No, I can't. So 4 goes into 2 0 times, which means we have to uncover one of our place values. Now we are asking ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 24? So if you know your multiplication facts, you may already know this. If not, we can count by 4. So count with me. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. How many times does 4 go into 24? 6 times. Very nice. And what place is this 4 in? The tens. Very good. Which means when I go ahead and put my 6 over on the side, I am going to put it in the tens. So whatever that last number is, whatever place value, is where your answer is going. So we know 4 times 6 gives us 24. And we have one place value covered, which means we need 1 0. So that makes this 60, and that makes this 240. So 4 times 60 gives us 240. All right, my next step, I need to subtract. We start on our ones place. 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So we are left with 4. Are we done? Not quite yet. because we know 4 goes into 4. So how many times does 4 go into 4? Once. Very good. 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. All right, so we have gone from 644 to 0. But now we have these numbers on the side. So the way we are going to finish this problem, 644 divided by 4, is by adding these numbers on the side. So whenever we add, we start in our ones place or our lowest place value. So 0 ones plus 0 ones plus 1 1 is 1. 0 tens plus 6 tens is 6 tens. And 100 plus 0 hundreds is 100s. And I want you to notice that these place values are lined up, right? Because I don't want to be adding my 1 with my 6 because that's going to mess up my problem. So always want to make sure you are lining up those place values. So this number down here, 161, is our answer. So 644 cookies divided among my mom, my dad, Chris, and myself means we will each get 161 cookies. Whew, that is a lot of cookies, and I think that's going to take me many days to eat. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me on this video today. We learned how to draw a picture to represent a division problem, as well as use partial quotients. Like I said before, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post them down below, and I will do my best to answer those questions. At the end of this video, please don't forget to catch the practice problems that there are. Please do them on a separate sheet of notebook paper and turn them in with your packets. Looking forward to seeing all that you've learned, and I can't wait to catch you in our next video. Bye, guys.